Good morning and welcome to the Class 4A quarterfinals here at Wells Fargo Arena for the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here in the year 2025. It's the 1 seed, the Bishop Heelan Crusaders, taking on the 8 seed, the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints. Hello everyone, Blake Walker along with the former Drake Bulldog, Laura Leonard, here for this Class 4A quarterfinal. Laura, Class 4A is stacked. Everybody in this field can win this tournament. And it all starts with two very talented teams, probably our best 1-8 matchup of the week.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think this division we've talked about it all season long, and that I think 4A is certainly a division, a class that is wide open. Anybody can win it. There's a lot of talent at this 4A level.
Well, taking a look at these two teams, let's take a look at our road to state graphic for both these two. Got similar journeys here somewhat. Bishop Heelan, take a look.
Yeah, with Heelan, you can see that they defeated Lewis Central, and they can score a lot of points, almost 70 points a game, good field goal percentage. A couple of players, Melina Snoozy is a leader with 18 points, Abby Lee 19 points, so they've got a couple of weapons out there that you need to get out and defend. And then for Xavier, got a little bit of a revenge in defeating Waverly Shellrock to get here, and they like to shoot it from three-point line. So I think we're going to see a lot of offense in this ball game, and Libby Fandel is a player that is going to be fun to watch, and she's going to have quite a career after she graduates.
We'll talk about Libby a lot today, that is for sure. We'll take a quick break and be back for your Channel Seeds Keys to Success. It's Bishop Heelan and Cedar Rapids Xavier, your first Class 4A quarterfinal today, coming up on the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here. Bishop Heelan, the Crusaders, taking on the Xavier Saints at 19-4. Laura, it's going to be a fun one so far today. A couple facts, a couple of keys, Channel Seeds keys that you got for both these two teams today.
Well, for Xavier, what they need to do is they need to come out, play with poise. They need to be relaxed, be able to run through their offense and get good sets on offense. Score quickly when you have it, and if not, back it out, take your time, and then you have to minimize turnovers. You cannot allow a team like Bishop Heelan to be able to get extra possessions. You don't want them to have the ball in their hands more often than they should. So you want to minimize those turnovers. And then for Bishop Heelan, got to rebound. You got to get to the glass, and you got to do it on both ends. You want to win the war of the boards and get to the offensive glass as well as the defensive glass, and then you need to have transition offense. You want to get up and down, so again, that kind of leads into the rebounding side of things, where if you can give them one and done, you can get into your transition offense and get some quick scores.
So those are Laura's Channel Seeds keys to success. Bishop Heelan 21-2 record this year. Xavier 19-4. Xavier was a little rocky to start the year, but Laura, 11 straight games. It makes them the toughest, probably 8 seed we've seen in the tournament.
Yeah, I would say so. You want to be playing your best basketball right now when you get into tournament time, you get into the regionals, and you get down to the state tournament. You want to be playing your best confident basketball, and I think that's what Xavier's doing right now. They're on a little bit of a run, and Coach Tom Lilly he's an experienced guy.
Yeah, he is.
Guy at the helm that's been here a lot and a lot of years coaching, and he knows what to do with his teams when they get down here to the state tournament.
Two very seasoned veteran coaches. We'll get you back here in a few minutes for your starting lineups and our opening tip. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, a fifth-generation farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We're excited to have you join us for the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to be the title sponsor of this amazing event. Iowa's farmers work endlessly to grow and raise nutritious food and sustain our local communities. Similarly, Iowa's student athletes dedicate countless hours to train and excel in their sport. Partnering with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union allows us to celebrate farmers and student athletes while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is a tremendous achievement, and it requires strong support. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we can celebrate and honor students for their accomplishments on the basketball court and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to your success, assisting our organization in providing awards, grants and scholarships, as well as concussion insurance and these wonderful championship hats. These contributions not only protect student athletes' health, but also highlight outstanding performance in both athletics and academics.
As Iowans, we have so much to be proud of, and every single one of us plays a role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on an outstanding season and best of luck in the tournament.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here to start our Class 4A quarterfinals. It's Bishop Heelan taking on Cedar Rapids Xavier, a program or two programs that I felt have played quite a bit in the last couple of years. They did play in 2023 here at the state tournament, and it was Bishop Heelan who got away with the victory. They've played 4 times since 2016. And Laura, two coaches that are very well veteran here at the state tournament with Coolstra and Tom Lilly. These guys know how to get around this place.
They do, and they might even have keys to the building as far as we know, because they've been here so often. But they're certainly, as you say, seasoned veterans, and they know what to do. They're winners, and they know what to do when they tip it off.
Let's send to Tim Fitzpatrick for our starting lineups.
2025 Girls State Basketball 4A quarterfinal matchup featuring from Cedar Rapids, the Xavier Saints, and from Sioux City, the Bishop Heelan Crusaders. Fans' tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Xavier High School and Bishop Heelan High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Karina Romero from Murray High School, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Xavier High School, N.O. Wilson. And from Bishop Heelan High School, Tom Yanoff. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by everyone here today. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation, and like the lady said in the video, enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players. Today's 4A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Xavier Saints. Number 1, Macy Herdig. Number 2, Kaylee O'Brien. Number 5, Abby Driscoll. Number 10, Brooklyn Emerson. Number 21, Gianna Pino. Number 24, Ella Arens. Number 30, Kiki Harbeck. Number 33, Maisie Fisher. And number 35, Samantha Doherty. Your assistant coaches, Stephanie Potts, Jim Potts, Blair Kevin, and Liam McConville. Now let's meet your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Bishop Heelan Crusaders. Number 1, Ellie Top. Number 5, Grace Rohrig. Number 11, Maggie Vandrager. Number 13, Ashley Yoakum. Number 15, Aubrey Billings. Number 21, Kobe Carroll. Number 25, Eliana Ross. Number 31, Kennedy Bainbridge. Number 35, Shannon Cleary. And number 43, Maddie Schermerhorn. Your assistant coaches, Jessica Carson, Sean Miller, Olivia Westoff. And now, here's your starters for this 4A quarterfinal. For the Saints, at guard, a 5'7" junior, number 3, Madden Wilson. For the Crusaders, at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Addison Kleiss. For Xavier at guard, a 5'4" junior, number 4, Giselle Lang. For Bishop Heelan at forward, a 5'11" sophomore, number 23, Melina Snoozy. For the Saints at forward, a 5'10" senior, number 11, Taylor Rexroth. For the Crusaders at guard, a 5'10" junior, number 33, Trishelle Miller. For Xavier at guard, a 6' senior, number 13, Libby Fendel. For Bishop Heelan at forward, a 5'10" senior, number 41, Maddie LaFleur. And at guard for the Saints, a 5'8" junior, number 32, Reese Comenda. For the Crusaders at center, a 6-foot senior, number 45, Abby Lee. Head coach for the Saints is Tom Lilly. For the Crusaders, Darren Koolstra. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our officials for today's 4A game as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Your referee, Michael Anderson. Umpire, Chad Shellmeyer. Umpire, Zach Clark. And your bench official, Michael Johnson. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
We are ready to go here at the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament, your Class 4A quarterfinal. Bishop Heelan and Cedar Rapids Xavier, your 1 versus 8 seed. Yeah, a lot of people have been looking forward to this one. Xavier is in blue with the gray and white trim. Bishop Heelan is in white with the tan and blue trim. Let's get going here in your Class 4A quarterfinals.
Well, the crowds are fired up, that's for sure. They're loud and ready to go for this one.
Two teams on completely opposite ends of the state. Melina Snoozy for 3 to start the game, and the sophomore knocks down the long jumper.
Just able to get a nice little screen. Come on, she doesn't need much room to be able to get that shot off. You can see how quickly she was able to elevate and knock that shot down.
Burst on the scene last year as a freshman. A lot of people wondered how she would play at the state tournament. She embraced it. Heelan had a decent run, as that one's going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with Cedar Rapids Xavier. And Libby Fandel will throw in underneath the basket. They try to get it down low to Fandel. Abby Lee and company right there. Heelan is a very tall starting lineup. Every player is over 5'10".
When you got the double team down low, too, so they're going to be aware of where Fandel is, and they're going to double team her. She did a good job of looking to try to get some relief and some help out of that double team.
Three-pointer from the corner is not going to go that time for Taylor Rexroth, and Bishop Heelan will get the ball right back. Heelan averaging 69 points per contest, just giving up 37. It's one of the better defenses in Class 4A. Xavier averages 62 a game, giving up 42 per contest. Heelan comes in winning 12 straight, Xavier 11 straight. Here's Abby Lee off the screen, can't get it to drop. All the way up the floor, and got a push on Heelan. The foul was in transition.
Yeah, everybody was kind of looking down to see what was going to happen towards the basket. Didn't see it, but Chad Shellmeyer saw that from behind and slowed that play down.
Giselle Lang was streaking to the basket, thought she had an easy bucket, but Xavier has to reset. Libby Fandel from way out, can't get it to drop.
And she has that range, so expect to see a lot of those shots, especially the way that they're defending her down low. She's going to try to find some space out on the perimeter.
A lot of offers here in the state of Iowa. She's decided to go south and play in the Big 12 at Kansas for the Jayhawks. Also an all-state volleyball player. Three-pointer from the top of the key splashes home for the captain, Madden Wilson.
Work the ball around, get the good patient offense. And they are a good three-point shooting team, so look for them to try to start to heat up from the outside.
Well, a part of this 11-game winning streak, Libby Fandel has showed up night in and night out, but it's the supporting cast that has really shown up for Xavier.
And that's what you need when you have a player like Fandel that can do a lot of things, that scores most of the points for your team. Got to have some of the other teammates step up, and they're starting to do that at the right time in the season.
Abby Lee got the block on the other end. You're going to hear her name a lot with her size. Snoozy can't get that one to go off glass. Snoozy and Lee, like Laura mentioned at the beginning, are our keys to a state as Libby Fandel knocks that one down. Lee and Snoozy got to be the two best high-scoring duo on a team we've seen at the state tournament this year. Snoozy pop up again, no good.
That one was contested a little bit, maybe a little too quick, but again, that's their style. They like to get up and down.
Nice step through, follow through, and Abby Lee with a block, second of the game. Now back to the other end. This is Fisher, or excuse me, this is Miller who's able to put it up and in.
And that's just the defense turning into offense right there. You get by the first wave of defense, and then you have the defense behind, and Lee who blocks the shot and leads the break.
Trishelle Miller averaging 14 points per contest. That one rattles in and out for the Saints. So Heelan, 3 players over 14 points per game. That's no slouch. You don't see that very often.
No, nice balanced scoring, and that's why they are so good and so hard to defend.
Miller up and under move, got it to go.
Boy, Miller with that step-through move, just a wicked step-through move, got Lang across the cheekbone.
Three-pointer from the wing, missing, and a good rebound by the Saints. Xavier waits, now another long 3-ball, and that time won't drop for Madden Wilson. She's tried a couple of those. No foul, we play on. Lee down low, got it to go off glass.
Well, that's tough to stop. You have the size of Lee down low, and you've got Wilson, who's not quite as tall, right at 5'7", trying to get in that passing lane.
Lee, a 51% shooter from the floor. Miller, 55%. Three-pointer rattles in and out for Fandel. Xavier's rebounding efforts are really keeping them in it here in these first couple minutes.
Well, that's what you have to do when you are a little at a height disadvantage. You got to try to find ways to get the advantage on the boards and see if you can get that rebounding position. Give yourself an extra opportunity or two.
3 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds for Cedar Rapids Xavier in the first couple minutes. 4 minutes gone by here in this Class 4A quarterfinal. That three-pointer is going to splash home for Giselle Lang, the junior. Snoozy, though, running the floor. Good pickup by Fandel and company. And Kuhlstra from all the way on the other end of the floor calls a timeout to help his players. We'll see how long it'll be, a 30-second timeout. So 9-8 here, Laura. 3:45 to go here in the first quarter. I feel like they want to run, they want to move fast, but that might not be the style they want to go for today.
Well, both teams, I think, want to get up and down the floor, and I think Heelan, and that is their style. Even if they score, if Xavier scores, they're getting the ball through the net, and they're pushing tempo. Xavier's doing a good job of getting back and trying to slow them down, but good timeout, I think, there by Coach Kuhlstra. Keeping the possession. You don't want to give them an extra possession or create the turnover and let Xavier have the momentum. So a good timeout. And we talk a lot about what do you do after coach calls a timeout as we get a look at how Xavier is moving the ball around out on the perimeter. But how does the team respond after a timeout there and see if they can capitalize on that and do what coach told them to do in the huddle?
Xavier's taken 12 shots, Heelan just 7. Xavier is 3 of 12 from the floor. Bishop Heelan is 4 of 7. Here's Snoozy. Another stop and jumper, and gets fouled on the way up. Seems to be that's what she likes to do.
She's really good off the bounce. She's got great handles, and she's got great body control. Go up, and she's strong. She can take the contact, still get a shot off.
Snoozy will go to the line to shoot 2, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. Knocks down our first. Couple IMT insurance substitutions. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Brooklyn Emerson checks in for Cedar Rapids Xavier. Snoozy knocks them both down. The lead is 3 for the Crusaders. The first of 4 4A matchups here today. Laura and I talked about it at the top of the show, but boy, 4A is the best class I think we've seen at the state tournament.
I think so too. I feel like there's good talent there. It's, I think, evenly matched, top to bottom in the bracket.
Unselfish basketball, but leads to a turnover for the Saints. Winner of this game will play the winner of Norwalk and Central DeWitt. There's a blocking foul. Norwalk fans have showed out. There's already a good chunk of purple in the home seating section.
Norwalk fans and the community in Norwalk very excited. Again, trying to push tempo and then just putting it into another gear. Fandel reaches out and picks up the foul.
Boy, Snoozy through traffic again, couldn't get it to drop. Xavier going to run the floor here. Fandel thought about a 3. And boy, she draws close pressure more than anyone else. That 3's off the mark that time for Brooklyn Emerson, and Heelan looks to push. Snoozy stops and fires a 3 and splashes it home.
She's good off the bounce. She's good off the run, catch and shoot. She just has the readiness when she receives the ball, looking to the rim. First thought is to shoot it.
Well, her confidence as a sophomore is unbelievable. I mean, just an ability to say, I'm going to go and make a shot. And that's a lot of faith in Coach Kuhlstrom and what he has in his sophomore. Miller through traffic, got it to go off glass.
And this is where we're starting to see the balance come out in the scoring for Heelan. They have most of their players in the scoring column here in the first quarter.
Turnaround jumper rolls in and out. Libby Fandel on the glass, though.
Xavier needed that bucket. Want to try to keep it close here in this first quarter, but look at that depth.
Doherty got a good look. Fandel on the cleanup. Then Snoozy misses it on the other end. Libby says, I got to go, and she goes all the way to the lane and gets fouled and will shoot 2.
Trying to make a little bit of a run here. Getting inside, drawing contact, trying to get themselves a little bit closer for the end of the first quarter. We've seen games at the state tournament where one team jumps out, has that big first quarter lead. That allows them to be able to hang on at the end of the game. But if you can keep it close, back and forth, you're going to be able to battle down to the final horn.
Libby knocks down her first 3 years, first team All-State for Libby Fandel. She's 99 points short of 2,000, so going to have to get some work done this week if she wants to get there, but still an incredible career. Holds several records at Xavier as Heelan comes up short on their possession. Fandel through traffic. Got the pull-up jumper to go, and now you're starting to see a takeover.
And you said she needs to do a lot of work. Well, that's what she's determined to do.
Snoozy in and out and gets fouled and will go to the line.
You know, first things first, keep your team in the ball game and get the win in advance. But, yeah, she's flirting with it, but she'd have to have a big weekend to get to that 2,000-point mark.
Well, 99 points, that'd have to be one of the better single tournament showings we've seen as Snoozy goes in and out. It is incredible. I was looking at the stats earlier this week, and most players at the top, 80, 90, a couple 90s, and then Audie Crooks, 117.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Snoozy's second free throw is good. And the lead is 3 for Heelan. Good response by Xavier. You know, could have been in trouble there, trailing by 8, but you give it to your star, and she makes a couple big plays. Here's a 3 to tie it. And yes, Madden Wilson. But all the way on the other end is Abby Lee, who short ends the layup.
But that just shows you how you cannot celebrate after you make a big bucket. You've got to get back. Your attention, ball goes through the hoop, you've got to get back defensively because that's what Heelan likes to do.
And it's been off makes. Makes have been, it's not off, I mean, on misses you get back. On makes, it's where Heelan's beaten Xavier deep. As Libby Fandel again draws a foul and will go to the line to shoot 2. 3 fouls apiece for both teams as Fandel knocks down her first free throw. And just like that, Xavier has taken the lead.
In a short amount of time.
Yes. I was just about to say we're still in the first quarter. So the Saints by 2. And now a rare, what feels like a rare, half-court set here for the Crusaders. Lee, turnaround jumper, might have gotten blocked. Saints on the rebound.
A good matchup in the middle.
Wilson down low to Doherty. Doherty turns around and just can't quite get it to drop. Wilson somehow grabs the loose ball. Heelan on the rebound. Shot clock is dead. We'll see if they hold. Snoozy doesn't want to hold. She goes all the way and gets the and one. Boy, we have got 2 players that play similar styles that are going at it here in the first quarter.
She just systematically worked her way down the floor, looking at all parts of the floor, didn't see anything, took it on her own.
Snoozy's free throw is good, and Heelan takes back the lead in a back-and-forth first quarter. Definitely one of the higher-scoring first quarters both teams combined we've seen here at the state tournament so far. Well, now Xavier gets the last shot. Madden Wilson will bring it up the floor. Vandell got open for three. You just can't do it.
So much for milking the clock. They had a perfect setup, though. The bounce pass into the middle of the zone. Here comes Snoozy.
And another foul, this time drawn by Snoozy, as I believe they're going to get that one on Commenda. And that is a bonus. So Heelan will go to the line to shoot two here. It's got to be our first bonus in the first quarter I think I've seen all week.
A little bit of a mistake there. I mean, you're either going to put them on the line, make them earn it that way, or let her go all the way to the hoop.
Snoozy's got 12. Vandell's got 13. Melina misses her first.
So now looking back, good foul, right?
Yeah,
she missed that.
You work on that. You practice that every day. Xavier, head coached by Tom Lilly in his 40th and final season here for the Saints.
5 state titles to his credit.
When they won and made it to state, everybody put on matching mustaches. Wilson outside, 2 seconds. Vandell puts it up at the horn, no good. Let's take a breath, shall we? 22-21. The 8th seed Xavier leads over 1-seeded Heelan. We'll be back here watching the Iowa Girls State Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
It's Frank. Frank. Mr. Frank. I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me. The feeling of family, you have to agree.
Wow, thanks, Fairway Frank.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
Across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks are providing jobs, supporting businesses, and strengthening our communities. Here, success is built by you, and the life you build is backed by Iowa Banks. See what we mean at iowabankers.com. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here, Class 4A quarterfinal. Boy, it's lived up to the bill so far. 22-21, Cedar Rapids Xavier leads over Bishop Heelan. Libby Vandell for Xavier has 13. Melina Snoozy for Heelan has 13. We expect more of the same here in the second quarter. Vandell through traffic, spot-up jumper, no good. On the glass, though, not going to go that time. Couple offensive rebounds here for the Saints. Wilson gets swatted by Lee. That's her third block.
Man, that's twice that Wilson has gone in amongst Lee and the trees and had it swatted away.
That was a good rebound at first there by Taylor Rexroth. Miller goes all the way. That one somehow stolen on the ground by Madden Wilson. Lang, coast to coast, gets no traveled.
And Lang knew that the defense was bearing down on her, just wasn't sure what to do. Indecision as she got out, wait for the defense, and then just a couple of extra steps.
Just a couple.
A little cartwheel there at the end.
Huge break for Snoozy. In a game that she's having, you just can't afford fouls.
Right.
She spots up for another three-pointer. Misses, but Abby Lee's on the glass. Turnaround jumper, not going to go. Looking like Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. You know, on both ends, the rebounding position for both teams really good. It's textbook. They're getting body on body, getting the opponent away from the glass.
Vandell had Lee right there, but ripped away. Good effort. Wilson thought about a three, doesn't take it. Instead, Rexroth splashes it home.
Only fitting that she gets the points, right? She created the turnover, kept the possession, and they reward her with the basketball, and she gets the bucket.
Rexroth with the steal now. Here come the Saints. Wilson all the way behind the back pass, and the and one doesn't drop, but Giselle Lang is going to go to the line.
How pretty was that?
Woo!
That was a great run, and what great vision coming right at you, a little over the top pass.
No look.
And Lang just couldn't convert, but gets the contact.
So Lang will go to the line to shoot 2. First one splashes home. Rexroth will check out. Good minutes there for Taylor. That is an athletic family. Her brother, a safety over at the University of Iowa, played quarterback at Cedar Rapids Xavier.
It always amazes me in football how they can switch positions and perfect it. So I mean, you're so in tune in one position for so long, and then your coach at your next level says, hey, you're going to play here.
Oh, another offensive rebound, and Libby tried to fit it over to Doherty. One thing's for sure, and you mentioned it a little bit, both coaches clearly have said we're not getting beat on the boards today because they've set themselves up really well. That would be, I think when it updates, there'll be 5, maybe 4 offensive rebounds here so far for Xavier.
Yeah, it is 4 and 3 for Heelan.
6 turnovers for Heelan, too, as Miller steps back, won't go. Abby Lee tried to go for the board, and loose ball will go to Heelan. Coach Lilly not happy with all the contact going on, but it's a physical game.
It is a physical game, and you just have to adjust and make the best of it.
Lee, baseline, can't get it past Fandel. Xavier by 5 here. Wilson down on the low post. They're giving up that shot, but Xavier just can't hit it.
Yeah, right there, kind of in the gap of that zone is open, and they're getting there. They just aren't connecting.
That was Emerson who couldn't hit it. Xavier is working hard, and a foul is going to be called. No jump ball, a foul is called. I believe that was Wilson who hit the deck. Yes, it was. So Madden will go with the foul here.
Crossover dribble and the quick hands, the active hands in the middle of the defense knocks that one loose, but Wilson's going to pick up that foul.
Couple IMT insurance substitutions. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. IMT sponsoring all of our substitutions here at the state tournament all week long. Heelan, couple minutes, no score here. And it's a carry by Snoozy.
Defense helped force that turnover a little bit. They jumped out, they hedged a little bit, hesitated. She got that ball caught on the hip.
I mean, these girls are playing tight. They're not really giving each other enough or a lot of space. And Snoozy and Fandel, they haven't even checked out. They've been on the floor all game. Fandel through traffic, not going to go. Got her on a rebound, though, and gets the putback. That's that volleyball player in her starting to show.
That is. She got the ball and kept it straight up, got it, didn't bring it down around her waist, kept it above her head, and got the little putback.
Lee fouled. Got to reach in somewhere.
They were having a team meeting around Lee. 3 players right there grabbing and swiping it, and she did a great job of maintaining control.
Snoozy, great pass on the inbound, but over the back is called.
What a great baseline inbound play, and just Snoozy just could not get it to curl in over the rim.
Coach Koolstra will take a timeout. It is a full timeout. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here, 28-21. The 8 seed, Cedar Rapids Xavier, on top of the 1 seed, Bishop Heelan. We knew coming in, the numbers next to those names, that doesn't matter. This class has been so good, and Xavier, not your typical 8 seed, that is for sure. And they've come out swinging here so far, and it's Libby Fandel leading the way.
Yeah, they certainly have. It'd be interesting, and didn't keep track as much as I probably should have over the course of the season, but just see how much movement in 4A there was as far as the rankings and who was jumping who at what point in time and how long they stayed at number one, those kinds of things. But it's just a very competitive class.
Libby Fandel has 17 points and 10 rebounds. That one off the leg of Kaylee O'Brien. Heelan pretty much stayed number one all year. Lost a couple games to Prairie and Dowling Catholic. Obviously didn't drop them. North Polk steadily at number two. But after that, good luck. It was a dogfight. Norwalk, Dallas Center Grimes, Macokota, Central DeWitt, all teams that made it here to the state tournament. Snoozy for three, not going to go. Fandel with another board. Heelan still no score here in the second quarter. Fandel from Altoona, not going to hit. Here comes the pushback. They love it in transition. Snoozy short ends it.
Just drifted on that shot. I mean, she had the good look, just faded. But that is their game.
Yeah.
Get out and go and get as many quick layups as possible.
Libby draws a double team, so someone's open. Good fake. Back to Fandel. That three-pointer's not going to go. And rebound can't be grabbed.
They had Samantha Doherty, that ball fake, and then thought better of it. But, boy, she was wide open. They just missed her down low.
Well, at our game yesterday, you said the word ball fake a lot. And I think at state tournament, you're so eager. You jump at the first thing you see. Ball fakes go a long way.
They really do, and we've seen a couple here today, and you see how much it makes the defense move and commit.
Fandel on another board. She's probably going to finish with 20-plus. She turns around and can't hit, but another offensive rebound by Xavier. Now Fandel stops and fires, and it won't go. And that one's going to drop out and will go back to Heelan.
Rexroth has been very active on the offensive glass, pulled a couple of them to keep possession.
And Heelan's big three that averages, all three average over 14 points per game. They are the only ones that have scored here in this one. Miller has 6, Melina Snoozy's got 13, and then Lee's got 2. Xavier is also quick to jump on every possible loose ball as Lang goes out of the court to go grab that one.
Isn't Lang the one that gave us the cartwheel earlier in the quarter?
Might be a gymnast on the side.
She might be a gymnast.
Boy, that's another thing that Xavier has been so good at, loose balls and able to jump passing lanes.
That's one adjustment I think that they're going to have to make at halftime is taking care of the basketball. They're bringing it down right around their waist, and that's allowing the defense to sneak in from the backside.
Doherty knocks down the mid-range jumper, and Xavier leads by 11. They have blitzed the Crusaders here in this second quarter, who have still not scored. Miller for 3. Nothing there. Great save, and a save by the Crusaders to get the ball right back. Miller all the way, loses it on the way, but gets fouled. Who are they going to get it on?
What hustle by Lee to get that ball from going out of bounds and save it to her teammates. Miller, who then took it in and drew the contact.
Got a whistle there on the floor.
Miller, the inbounder, just came in, sees a little bit of a mismatch as Lang is giving away a couple of inches to her. She just inbounded the ball and stepped right into the post.
Snoozy around traffic, no foul. Everybody's hitting the deck, and we're going to... We got rugby here on the court as that one's going to stay with Heelan.
That almost was shades of the girls' state wrestling tournament a couple weeks ago.
She did a throwdown right there. That was crazy.
That was 2 points right there, wasn't it? Takedown.
So a throw-in upcoming for Maddie LaFleur. If you are curious, the last time an 8 seed took down a 1 seed, it was 2 years ago in Class 3A where Vinton Shellsburg upset Esterville Lincoln Central. Miller, another 3, off back iron. Fandel skies for the rebound. That is her 14th rebound of the day. A three-pointer from the wing. That's going to go. Reese Commenda, the junior. Boy, it's all going right for the Saints.
It is. It's all coming up Xavier right now. Everything's going their way.
Snoozy travels trying to get down low.
They're just frustrated right now, Bishop Heelan is, as Xavier has the momentum, and as you had said, everything's going their way right now, and going to take another timeout, their third timeout of the first half.
We'll take one with them. Xavier on top, 35-21. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here. Laura, just kind of looking at stats, it's quite one-sided, obviously, in this quarter, but spreading the wealth for Xavier. It's not just Libby Fandel, but Heelan's just not getting that right now.
No, they aren't getting the other production. They aren't getting the balanced scoring that they've had throughout the entire season. And looking at team stats, Xavier is 6 of 16 from three-point range. So they are connecting from the perimeter, and that's what's helped them build this lead.
Fandel, good pass inside to Doherty. Can't get it to drop. Here comes Heelan on the break. Heelan has not scored this entire quarter. Lee can't get that one to go off back iron. And sometimes you just can't hit. I mean, you're getting good shot looks.
Right, and that's a good look, and you can't be disappointed with that series or that set on offense. It's a good look for Lee, just a little too long.
Just over a minute to go here in the second quarter. Doherty. Strong take inside. Nothing going, though. Has to get rid of it. She does. Over to Fandel. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Fandel backing down Snoozy and got it to go. Whoa!
Wow. Is that a pretty shot right there? Just backed it down. Got Snoozy on her backside, and what a beautiful fadeaway right here. Just those are ones you practice in your driveway all the time in the summer.
Yeah,
those are the ones that you try to perfect and pull them out when you need them.
Miller all the way breaks the drought. That is Heelan's first points of the quarter. I talked about Heelan only gives up 37 points a contest. Xavier has 37 right now.
Yeah, they've kind of blitzed him here in the second quarter. And that was a much-needed bucket. You had mentioned it, but they've got to get Miller going on offense. 1 second difference between shot clock and game clock. Doherty for three. She got it. Wow, Doherty with Snoozy flying right in her face.
Melina Snoozy for a response. Got it. And that will do it for the end of a wild first half. The 8th seed, Cedar Rapids Xavier on top 40-26 over 1-seeded Heelan. But do not go away because we have got a fun second half up and coming. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. 8th-seeded Cedar Rapids Xavier on top of 1-seeded Bishop Heelan here. 40-26 is your score. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here so far. We'll take a look at your team stats in a little bit, but kind of focusing on a couple individual stats. Obviously, Laura, 2 players that have really stood out today.
Yeah, Libby Fandel's shooting at a very high rate now. 7 of 16, 1 of 6 from three-point range, but 19 points, so that she's having a very productive day. And Melina Snoozy, yeah, and 14 rebounds. How about that? I mean, already a double-double. And then Snoozy, Melina Snoozy, 16 points as well. Has gotten to the free throw line, 4 of 13. Struggled a little bit shooting it, but she is also getting herself to the free throw line. So they, on that side of the ball, Heelan needs a little extra help for Snoozy. There's only 3 players that are in the scoring column, and so they need to get Abby Lee going. And Trishelle Miller, she got going a little bit late in that second quarter, but they need to get a little more consistency as well to help out Snoozy.
Well, and also worth noting, Bishop Heelan doesn't go very deep. I mean, it's just not a very deep bench. They've gone too deep. And another thing to think about, they haven't played from behind very often this season, so there's a little bit of a different feeling coming into the locker room.
Yeah, you just have to be very calm as you go into the locker room, put that first half behind you and go, hey, not our best half of basketball this season. We know what we're capable of. Come out with a kind of a renewed sense of energy and confidence and figure things out as far as they had a lot of turnovers. A lot of it, they're bringing the ball down. They allowed the defense to sneak in, try to strip them of the basketball. And they can cut down on the turnovers, and if they can get their running game going, they're going to be tough to stop.
Well, we've paused our clock. I think we're going to have a little bit longer here because of dance and then our chicken wing eating contest. So we'll take another break and get you back and take a look at our suck-up team stats. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here in the capital city of Des Moines at Wells Fargo Arena. Blake Walker and Laura Leonard along with you here so far today. Cedar Rapids Xavier, the 8th seed, leading 40-26. Laura over the number 1 seed Bishop Heelan. It's been a fun one so far. We've seen 2 star players really go at it. And we're going to take a look at our Sioux team stats of the game, and a couple glaring stats kind of jump off the page here.
Well, yeah, and it's that second quarter that Xavier was able to kind of get out and run, and shooting percentages you can see, especially from three-point range, Xavier shooting 41% from beyond the arc, and Heelan not really getting the looks that they would like to get. They are a run-and-gun type of team, but they will pull up and shoot that three-pointer from beyond the arc. I think the turnovers are a big thing that you look at, and we talked about that. Heelan with those 9 turnovers and second chance points. Xavier went to the offensive glass, and that really helped them build up their lead. Really crucial, like you said, rebounds obviously have been big, 3-point percentage. But if any team can come back, it's a 1 seed in Bishop Heelan. They have a lot of firepower. They got to get a couple things rolling, but don't go away. We got a good second half up and coming between Bishop Heelan and Cedar Rapids Xavier. We'll be back for your second half. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
This game is heating up, folks. Frank squares up like a butcher block on defense. Audie with the fadeaway. She's on fire. Literally, that is. The net has been burned to a crisp.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is a matchup for the ages. Audie cuts a path straight to the paint, and she serves up a slam dunk. I hope Audie may have the win, but Frank really got the W on that play. That's got to hurt.
41 white fouls.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Cedar Rapids Xavier leads Bishop Heelan 40-26 is your score. Fans getting into it here at Wells Fargo Arena. A lot of purple. A lot of Norwalk and Central DeWitt fans getting ready for their upcoming game. We had a foul correction in the first half. Did you write that down?
I did. Got to read. I believe we were told that there was a foul called on
Abby Lee. Or excuse me, Maddie
LaFleur.
Yep.
And it should have gone on Addison Price.
Yep.
So
that
I think
been changed.
Instead of 2, right, for LaFleur, it should be 1 and 1.
Yes.
1 was for Kleiss and 1. So good correction by the good officiating crew and to make that adjustment and come over and let us know about it.
So, well, we had 3 minutes on the clock, and then they just gave us 2 more. So, kind of talk about our tournament here, what we got here in Class 4A. Obviously, coming up next, Norwalk versus Central DeWitt. Going to be a really fun game between those 2 teams. Norwalk, Joseph Segrist has obviously he's a talk. I mean, obviously 2 state championships with Valley. Kind of stepped away for a little bit, comes back, and he's got Norwalk humming with the Birmingham sisters.
Yeah, he had a chance to talk to him earlier this season, and he said, he took that time away from Valley and wanted to be able to watch his kids play at Norwalk, but he saw that they needed some guidance and leadership and really saw that there was some talent coming up at the high school or the middle school. I call it junior high. My goodness, I'm so old. I call it junior high. But coming up through the ranks, and he thought that he might jump in, and as the coach stepped away, he might jump in and take over the reins, and he did, and felt like he has the team, and he certainly has the team and the talent, and thought they could make a run this year, and they got here.
Then your game, North Polk taking on Sioux Center. Boy, Abby Tuttle has been unbelievable for North Polk this year. The Comets have a surprise, but Sioux Center previous state champion in the last couple years, obviously a bumped up a class. That's not going to be any slouch for the Comets.
No, that's going to be a tough game, and Tuttle is certainly everything that she is billed to be. I mean, she can see the floor, she can shoot it, and Northern Iowa certainly is getting a good player in Tuttle.
And then our final game in Class 4A, Maquoketa makes it to the state tournament for the first time as the 3 seed. They'll take on Dallas Center Grimes, another team not defending state champion, but have won a championship before. Coach Jones has really just gotten better every single year for the Mustangs. That's a fun 3-6 matchup.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I think we've seen the 3-6 matchups in the first 2 classes be the really good battle in the brackets, and so that one is going to be, I think, a really fun one to watch as well.
Then we'll wrap our day up with 2 Class 2A games before moving on to tomorrow. A good old blizzard warning in the forecast here for the state of Iowa, so if you're watching at home, if you're a Heelan fan watching from home and weren't able to make it down, completely understandable. We appreciate everyone for tuning in watching here as the couple days go on. So Cedar Rapids Xavier will start with the basketball here in the second half, leading by 14, but no lead is safe here at the state basketball tournament, that is for sure. Here's Madden Wilson. We'll give it over to Fandel at the top of the key. Libby turns around. Good hands-up defense here by the Crusaders to start this possession. They only scored 5 points in the second quarter. 3-pointer from the wing. Splashes it home. 2. Going to get it on the line for 2 to Reese Commenda.
Dribble drive, kick it out to the perimeter as everybody's attention was on Fandel. She looked to the wing and able to kick it out.
She's drawn a couple doubles, that's for sure. Abby Lee goes down low. Fandel challenges her the whole way. That's one thing about Libby and Molina. They've stayed out of foul trouble for the most part. Boy, the scoring just continues as Fandel puts it up and off glass. The lead is 18. And a foul on the floor.
And I think you can see the urgency right now in Heelan. They are trying to get Lee involved in the scoring, got the ball in her hands initially on that first offensive possession, and then as Snoozy gets the ball, she's going full head of steam trying to get to the hoop.
Miller pounded at the top of the key, goes all the way to the basket and just can't get it to drop. The way things started out, it was Xavier not shooting well. Remember, Xavier trailed 16-8 at one point.
And then all of a sudden they hit the switch and have not turned it off since. And again, offensive rebounds.
As the 10th of the ball game for the Saints. That's going to be another one. And Xavier resets.
If Heelan can get away without giving up any points, that's a win for them.
Giselle Lang kicks to the corner. Rexroth for 3. Not going to drop that time.
So you hold your breath, you play another 35 seconds of defense, and they were able to come away without giving up any points.
Well, and how quick Heelan runs. They're a team almost built for runs. So no score is insurmountable if you feel, but at that point, you just can't get anything going on the inside.
Yeah, they've got to really try to get that running game going. They've got to get some stops on the defensive side of things and then push tempo.
Libby again for a second kind of drew a double. She gets fouled on the floor by Maddie LaFleur.
When they get her the ball up there in the top of the key, they'd spread out and they let her face up, look to see if there's anything that she can do by putting it on the ground.
Take a look at the replay here.
A little looking off the defender, sees that right side of the floor, takes it all the way to the hoop.
If it's a single isolation, Libby's going to take it most of the time. Got a shot, good shot attempt there off the inbound. And Heelan catches a miss. Back to the other end. Here's a three-pointer by Addison Kleiss, who knocks it down. First player not named Lee, Snoozy, or Miller to hit a shot for the Crusaders.
And that's what they needed. It was quick, a couple of passes, find the open player.
Fandel stop and fire, not going to go that time, but another rebound. Madden Wilson again. Just no quit. I believe that's on the line. Yes, it is. So another mid-range two-pointer for Reese Commenda. She loves those.
She does like those. And she finds a spot on the floor, stands there, waits for the ball to come to her, but Right now, Xavier quicker to all the loose balls. They're winning all those 50-50s.
That shot knocked down that time for Snoozy. Trying to keep Heelan within reach, but at this point, you're kind of trading baskets. Lang puts it on the floor. Rexroth is wide open, and she splashes it home. Laura, these girls are just getting open on the corners.
They are, and that's just because the defense is being sucked in. They're leaving them open on the perimeter.
Lead is 18. Snoozy got it to go off glass. Needed that one. And a timeout is called by Coach Koolstra. See how long they take it. It'll be a full one. 49-33, Xavier on top. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fans official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here. 49-33, Xavier on top of Heelan. Laura studying the stats like a professor studying some grades. Just trying to figure out, Heelan, how are they in this position? Obviously Xavier is not an 8 seed that you would expect, but sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the hoop, and for Heelan it feels like that's starting to happen.
Yeah, and they're shooting 35% from the floor, 33 from three-point. They've only taken 12 three-pointers. The thing that jumps out at me is that 13 offensive rebounds for Xavier, and they've scored 10 points, second chance points. So there's a big chunk of their points that they're getting off of second opportunities.
Doherty swings outside, and Commendum short ends it, but there's another offensive rebound and another second chance bucket for Libby Fandel. Snoozy, length of the floor, got it knocked away. A fight for the basketball underneath, and it will stay with Heelan.
Good look. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to push it as much as they can, but Snoozy got a little too far underneath the basket.
Miller will throw in here for the Crusaders. Abby Lee, just 2 points so far today. That one might have gotten swatted.
Yeah, Fandel's done a really nice job on Lee, and there again, I know you shoot that fadeaway, but that's again where, going back to the ball fake, get her up in the air, see if you can get that pump fake and get a foul on her.
Madden Wilson misses the three-pointer, and Heelan gets away with a rebound. Miller swings it outside. Kleiss another three, got it again. It's her second of the ball game.
Well, she didn't get a lot of touches in the first half, so they're looking to her and they're leaving her open.
And Coach Tom Lilly sees a couple points drop in the basket. He says, I'm going to take a break. We'll take one with them. 41-36, Xavier on top. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Blake Walker, Laura Leonard with you here. 51-36. Xavier on top of Heelan, the 8 seed, trying to pull the upset over the 1 seed. Been a great week so far here at the Girls State Tournament, just on a Tuesday. A lot of fun yesterday in 5A and 3A action. A lot of college coaches in town. Iowa women's basketball, just in general. Man, what a run it's been the last couple years for Iowa State, Drake, UNI, and Iowa.
Well, and think of all the talent and all the Iowa young women that are on all of those teams that represent the state of Iowa for hometown schools.
Absolutely incredible. Fandel, three-pointer at the top of the key, not going to drop that time. Abby Lee gonna run the floor and one.
There is no getting in front of Abby Lee. She got that ball, and she was bound and determined to take it all the way. And those are spark plays that teams look for when they are down and they're trying to climb back into a ball game. And you can see excitement there that they're hoping that maybe that'll give them just a little bit of a jump start.
Lee at the line, shooting one, got it to go. The lead is down to 12. Our PV Centennial game yesterday, Laura, same thing. Big lead, kind of dropped down, but Libby Fandel's not going to let this be easy for Heelan.
No, they're going to get it to her and see if she can create, and she did right there.
Lee for three. Would have been a big shot. Couldn't get it to drop.
That's all right. That's a good look for her, and she's feeling it after getting that last bucket, and they got her open in the corner.
Fandel, turnaround jumper, not going to go that time. And yeah, it's so crucial to get Abby going. Not just the tallest player on the floor, but adds a lot of length. She's headed to Briar Cliff to play basketball.
Right there in the middle. Good cut into the middle of the defense, and Colby Carroll gets the assignment on Fandel, got her across the arm.
Fandel in and out on our first one. She'll shoot one more here. She's got 25 points, 17 rebounds, make it 26 points. She is showing out here early. 54-39, that was a big possession there for Xavier. Snoozy all the way with the right hand, no good. Lee's on the glass, can't get it to drop. Another rebound for Abby, tries again, and no foul. We play on.
She was just draped by two Xavier defenders.
Vandell goes on the other end and gets fouled.
Coach Koolstra kind of looks at the officials and said, hey, what about at the other end? There was a little contact on my player. Let's call it both ways is kind of the look that he's given the officials.
3 fouls for Heelan in the quarter, 2 for Xavier. Olivia Fandel misses her first. I feel like free throw percentages have been down a little bit here at the state tournament. Watching yesterday, that was a glaring issue I noted for a lot of teams. I know a lot of people say depth behind the backboard is a thing. Libby knocks down 1 of 2.
Yeah, and those are some of the things. Yeah, it's a different arena than what you're used to playing in, and you get your warm-up time. Yeah. I know you want to shoot from all spots on the floor, but you go and you step up to that free throw line and you practice those.
Abby Lee through a double team, got it to go.
She's starting to go to work right now. She knows that time is starting to dwindle away, and she has got the mindset of get me the basketball, and I'm going to make some moves, and I'm going to keep us in this game. Splits that double team.
She knocks it down. You talked about former Iowa players playing in colleges here. She reminds me a lot of Riley Goebel, who's currently at UNI. Boy,
yeah,
Riley's
that's a great comparison.
Riley's had a heck of a year setting records for the Panthers. The former center point Urbana Storm and Poynton. 55-42. Heelan. Can they get it within 10? No. Boy, just that every time they're getting close, they just can't seem to put it down. And then Xavier comes back the other way. Libby Fandel loses it on the way up, and it will be out of bounds. It will be Xavier ball.
And you just can't get frustrated. I know you're frustrated as a team that you're not hitting those shots, looking for the big bucket, but you're getting the looks, and they're bound to fall for you. You just have to keep shooting, but you also have to continue to get stops on the defensive end.
Fandel has taken 24 shots today. Here's her 25th. Got the lucky bounce. That's Xavier's day right now.
Yeah, got the back end of the rim, just popped right up and down. She was the inbounder on that one, came out and repositioned, and they got her the basketball.
Snoozy tries to do a little too much. Miller, though, intercepts it right back. Miller is doubled here, and a foul is going to be called on Wilson.
Great athletic play by Miller to get out there as like intercepting a pass from a quarterback. Just jump that passing lane.
Coach Lilly walked halfway out on the court and said, make sure you put that ball where she did call a foul. I think he was hoping that it was going to be more up the floor. 40 years in the business, still moving up and down the floor.
He knows the tricks of the trade.
Couple jumps in there.
That's why he's wearing sneakers now.
Yeah.
He's gone to sneakers, and so he can move up and down the sidelines.
A couple more IMT insurance substitutions. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Madden Wilson, after that foul, checks out. Snoozy, stop and fire, got it to go.
Little handoff play, get her going.
Ooh, they're going to need help. They doubled the player coming up for the inbound, so that allows Xavier to get it right back. Xavier has had a response for everything that Heelan has thrown at him here in this second half. Both teams with 18 points so far. Vandell got it blocked by Lee. Tries to get her own ball, can't get it. Lee on the other end, stop and go, up and in. Might have maybe gotten away with the double dribble, but they'll take it.
Well, gets the block and then able to get up the floor. They weren't able to control it quickly enough, but she was able to be patient.
The clock is dead. There is no shot clock. Clock has stopped running.
That's what happened at halftime.
Halftime.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't on purpose.
I think there was a malfunction. I think that
So they're
same
going to
thing.
let the coaches come together, or they're going to let the officials come together. I have no idea how much time, maybe 10 seconds to see what happens. But this is a big possession here for Xavier. You got it down to 12. I mean, you can kill some momentum here if you hit a bucket.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a 3 by any means, but
No, but they want to use the entire clock and see if they can get a good possession, get an easy 2 to take away some of that momentum.
Erin Gerlich, you can kind of see it on our screen, executive director. She is on her knees trying to, she's under the table starting to plug stuff back in. There we go. Now the question is, will they just give her 18 seconds? Maybe?
I think that's what they're going to go with. Maybe they'll let us know.
The scores.
Timing error, they didn't start the clock. We're stopped inherently, so we're going back to 9 seconds.
Okay. Head official lets us know we're going back to 9 seconds here.
And they've got .9 up there right now, so hopefully.
I love when they come and talk to us. Makes us feel so official. Yeah, so. Well, he said 9. It's got to be 9.
It's got to be 9.
Yeah.
They just have to make sure they punch the right buttons over there on the clock.
Well, not quite as easy as pushing buttons. I see the guy on the scores tab. There we go. There's your 9 seconds. So what kind of play do you got here drawn up if you're Coach Lilly? It's a big possession.
Well, my money's right here.
Vandell got a screen. Libby, great pass inside to Doherty, and she got it to go. Just as they drew it up. 60-46, the 8 seed leads over the 1 seed. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Class 4A quarterfinal. Cedar Rapids Xavier leading over Bishop Heelan 60-46. One more quarter to go. Both teams 20 points each in that third quarter. So, I mean, you look at it, Laura, and Heelan's like, all right, we had a better quarter than we did our second, but the only problem is so did Xavier.
Right, they just kept pace, and so you think you're chipping away, you think you're making some good moves and good strides, but it seemed like Xavier matched them at every opportunity.
Libby Fandel and Melina Snoozy have not left the floor all day. Fandel for three, not going to go. Rebound, going to stay with Cedar Rapids Xavier.
Madden Wilson doing a great job battling on the offensive glass on the weak side board.
We bring up glue guy a lot. She is the glue guy of the team. My goodness. Aggressive, knows when to be aggressive, and sets up her teammates really well. Lang for three. Not going to drop. Doherty's on the glass. Fandel for three. No good. And Lee says, I'm going to take this and hold on with all I can.
That's the second time they've avoided disaster, and they've given up 3 and 4 offensive rebounds, have not given up any points on those two chances.
16 offensive rebounds for Cedar Rapids Xavier. If Heelan can't come away with a win today, that's going to be one they circle. Here's a three from the wing, not going to drop that time for Colby Carroll. And a whistle is blown on Madden Wilson. What is that for her? She's at 3. Her and Commenda have 3. Lee under the basket. Hands were up and no call. That's exactly what that back judge was saying. Fandel all the way off glass, not going to go.
They're looking to run.
Touchdown pass up court to Lee, somehow saved. Boy, Xavier, despite a lead, said we're not going to waste clock as Snoozy loses it and intercepted by Lang. And timeout is called by Coach Lilly. I feel like that's a good timeout because I'm wondering the same thing. Do they want to hold the ball a little bit or do they want to run and keep scoring?
I think you got to find a happy medium.
Somewhere in there.
You've got to find, you don't want to slow it down too much because then you get out of sync. And you don't want to run because you don't want to push that tempo at this point. So you've got to kind of find that happy place in between those two thoughts. And so I think that's exactly what they're talking about right now.
When we had a chance to talk to Coach Lilly before, it's written down that Madden Wilson is a pit bull on defense. I didn't read that at first, but yeah, that about makes sense. First team Mississippi Valley Conference this past season.
Yeah, she certainly is kind of their floor leader out there and taking a little bit of a break right now and giving her a little bit of a breather, knowing that they're going to need her down the stretch.
We talked about Melina Snoozy, what she's been able to do today, trying to keep Heelan in it. She crossed 1,000 points in just her sophomore season. I mean, looking at some math, she's going to be really one of the state's best scorers. Doherty, who has also been really good today, gets a layup to go off glass. And things didn't start well for Doherty, but she's able to figure it out.
And you kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the game is that, Fandel has had such a great season. They had a little bit of a slow start, but have come on strong down the stretch, and that's because other players other than Fandel are chipping in and they're helping out and creating balanced scoring and other people that you have to pay attention to and you have to defend.
Well, and you always bring it up because usually when Xavier makes it in any sport is there's a steal by Snoozy. Molina will go all the way and can't get it to go, but a foul is called late as Lang kind of slipped into her. So Molina will go to the line to shoot two. But as I was saying, Xavier only 4 losses this year, but whenever Xavier makes it to the tournament really in any sport, always a couple more losses than average because they play all these 5A, 4A schools. And that's what I think has really helped Xavier a lot.
I would agree with that. They're playing tough competition night in and night out. And, those are the things that you want to do as a coach. You want to test your team. You want to put them up against the best quality opponent that you can. But I think that was an example of Xavier slowing things down, and they started to stand around a little bit, and they got the steal.
Snoozy knocks them both down, 62-48. Xavier leads. Still 5:43 to go. Plenty of time for the Crusaders. Lang was turned the wrong way, and I think you're just right. They're slowing it down a little bit and a couple more mistakes.
And they're starting to think about it a little
Yes.
bit. We've got this lead. We have to run clock, and so now as they think, ooh, do I make that pass? Should I take that drive? They're second-guessing themselves instead of just playing.
But, again, we've traded baskets. Both teams just have 2 points apiece in this fourth quarter, so there's some give and there's some take. Snoozy kicks to the corner. Three-pointer by Colby Carroll. Not going to drop. Heelan is 5 of 17 from beyond the three-point line. Xavier is 9 of 28.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of them, but they've connected at big times.
Yes. Vandell, stop and go. Got it to go. 32 points, 22 rebounds.
And you let her get that close in. She can elevate so high, and she's got great body control, just like Snoozy does, getting inside. And they're going to use their last timeout.
And again, they trade baskets.
Yeah.
As Vandell's able to knock it down, and Snoozy drops it in. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here at the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Cedar Rapids Xavier on top of Bishop Heelan, the 8 seed over the 1 seed, 64-50, trying to become the first team since 2023 to defeat a 1 seed as an 8 seed. Tom Lilly's got his crew coaching well, and that's another thing. Announced his retirement kind of near the beginning of the season. This whole year, you play for him. And you get here to the state tournament, it's just a little bit extra motivation. We don't want it to end in the first round.
Well, and they, from that first, what was it, about 5 minutes, 4 minutes of the first
good
quarter.
There a little bit, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they turned things on, and they have not looked back. They got on a roll and able to build the lead and have been able to maintain it.
Trailed 16-8 in the early going. And everybody was kind of looking around and said, well, I guess Heelan. And you said, I specifically remember, they scored on fast break bucket, and you said this is just what Heelan plays, and it's true. And then Xavier, a couple big shots. Libby started hitting and hasn't missed ever since.
Well, the thing that's impressive for Libby Vandell, not only the 26 points, but the 18 rebounds.
Unbelievable. 32 points, 22 rebounds, 3 assists. Doherty all the way, turn around, not going to go.
Another offensive rebound almost.
Yeah.
They just have great position.
But the clock is not Heelan's friend here. 4:24 to go.
No, this is where you need to be in that hurry-up mode and be quick and score, find the scorers, do it quickly.
Snoozy short ends the layup. Lee on the glass, and the foul is on the backside, and I believe that's on Madden Wilson. And that is going to be her 4th. Never mind, Madden is out. That's 5 fouls for Madden, so that's a big loss with 4:13 to go.
It's kind of your defensive spark plug out there, your leader on the floor, and is going to sit for the last 4 minutes.
Laura, you got a record possibly underneath your finger there. I thought maybe is
Yeah,
Libby
we're just,
closing in on a record?
Yes, 19. Ava Locklear, Clear Creek Amana, last year, 19 rebounds against Waverly Shell Rock.
So Libby's got 22. I think you got to refresh your stat. I was going to say you're still at 55-39.
I'm way behind. I had her at 26 points and 18 rebounds, thinking that she was closing in. She's already cashed in.
Very thankful for our live stats to be working again today. Credit to the girls' union getting that fixed. Vandell doubled, tripled. Libby gets through traffic, kicks to a wide open player in the corner. It's Taylor Rexroth for 2.
Boy, she's come up big at opportune time. She just kind of goes quietly about her business, finds the open spot, and knocks down a big bucket.
Lee through traffic, chucks it up, can't get it to go. Now hits the deck. If it's a jump ball, well, it's going to be a foul on Xavier. It was going to be a jump. If it was a jump ball, it was going to go to Heelan. Libby Fandel's got her third foul. I believe that's what they said. Yep. So Libby's got to be a little careful here. That one's out of bounds. Trying to be saved by Fandel.
Well, now that I've refreshed my my stat sheet.
What else you got?
Well, it looks like in 4A that a single game points scored 31 by Ava Hawthorne of Gilbert.
So that record's gone.
So that one's gone. So
31, really?
31 by Ava Hawthorne back in 2020.
Doherty with the block.
And I will mention a Drake Bulldog, Ava Hawthorne.
Boy, she was fun to watch at Gilbert.
Yeah, she's done a great job at Drake.
She's a movie star, too.
Yes, she is. Doesn't talk much about it, but
No. That one's out of bounds. Xavier gives it up, and Heelan will get it back. Xavier outscoring Heelan 6-4 again here. So, I mean, this is the lowest scoring output we've seen from both teams in a single quarter. Winner of this game will play the winner of Norwalk and Central DeWitt coming at the conclusion of this one. Miller all the way, just can't get it to go.
Oh, good hustle.
Lee for three, yes. Back within 13.
Now again, you got to come up and pressure, try to get a stop, get a turnover.
Fandel, free lane to the basket, you just can't do it. 34 points for Fandel.
You know, and all eyes need to be on her as well. I know you're coming out and pressuring and there's going to be screens, but you got to talk defensively, and Snoozy comes up with the bucket. Can't match bucket for bucket right now.
Boy, she's got 28, so she might pass Ava Hawthorne's 31 points. Doherty to Lang. Xavier's not afraid to stop shooting, but it just drops in the lap of Taylor Rexroth for another rebound, and Coach Lilly, I don't think Lilly liked that three-point attempt, but they got the board, and they'll take a timeout. We'll take one more with them. 68-55, you're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Cedar Rapids Xavier on top 68-55 over Bishop Heelan. We are looking at it. It's official. 2 records have been taken, and Libby Fandel's the one that's got him. 34 points is now the most points scored in a single game here at the state tournament for a Class 4A opponent. And 23 rebounds is also the most now in a single game.
Yeah, quite a ball game. I mean, she's just it's just been systematic. It's not been flashy. It's just her game that she has played her entire career.
And usually with that many points and that many rebounds, you're like, oh, it's probably a post player. I mean, no, this is a guard that's doing this. Heelan tightening up defensively. Doherty stuck under the basket. Still killing time, but that's going to be a backcourt violation, and it will go back to Heelan, but Laura, 13 points is a lot to make up in a minute 40.
Well, you got to be efficient here on the offensive end. I mean, if you want to try to make that up, you got to be efficient, look for quick shots, crash the offensive glass as well.
Snoozy drives, caught up, might have taken an extra step, doesn't matter, misses off the mark. And Miller gets called on the reach-in. That is just Heelan's second foul, so going to have a couple to give here. Xavier's got 4 fouls, so luckily this game not as close as Xavier would want. Just under a minute and a half to go. Another foul, this time on Snoozy. And, you know, we've talked about Libby Fandel, but Melina Snoozy, another phenomenal showing here at the state tournament. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Clearly the leader of this team, and she still has 2 more years left.
Yeah, she's an exciting player, and, you know, this Bishop Heelan team is going to be good, and they've got the parts to go with her as well. So she's going to be a fun one to watch that game develop as she moves through the rest of her high school career.
Another foul on Miller. Probably the 4th foul, so. Libby Fandel, they'll get 1 more foul here. And that's the 5th foul for Trishelle Miller, a junior. She will be back for her senior year. Losing Abby Lee will be tough for Heelan, but you bring back 2 of your top 3 best scorers.
Yeah, it's a good little nucleus to build around, and you know, you've got a pretty deep bench, or a big bench, that you're going to be able to develop some players to go along with those too.
Reese Commenda hands off to Fandel, and Libby will go to the line to shoot 2 to extend some points. I mean, 34 points, 24 rebounds. That's I don't see that very often.
No, you don't. I mean, that's just an impressive performance. You know, I think the one thing too is that really helped Xavier to build this big lead was the rebounding side of things, and was that offensive glass that they kept the ball out of Heelan's hands, didn't allow them to get that running game going.
Snoozy goes up and gets fouled. 17 offensive rebounds for Xavier today. Another senior for Heelan going to have to say goodbye to, Maddie LaFleur. Headed to Morningside to play volleyball. A couple really good volleyball players on this Heelan team as well. Snoozy knocks down her first. She's got 29.
You look up and down the subs for this Heelan team. A lot of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, that you can develop those players, and they've got the success in that program that I think, you know, winning breeds winning, and they have that mindset there.
Lang with it here as Xavier plays keep away. Heelan won the state title in 2020, going to come up short this year, and you know, we talked about it. The whole bracket in Class 4A was very stacked, and when people saw Xavier as the 8 seed, they thought, whoa. You know, Heelan's had a great year, just 2 losses, but you knew Xavier was one of the hottest teams coming into the state tournament, and it was going to be a tall task for Heelan.
You know, everybody talks about, you always hear, oh, you want to be playing your best basketball in March? Well, I think that adage holds true here today, because they are playing their best basketball right now.
And Tom Lilly, in his 40th and final year, is going to advance on to the semifinals, where they'll play the winner of Norwalk and Central DeWitt. Snoozy, 3-pointer, not going to go. Long fight for the rebound. Fandel's got it. Here comes Doherty back the other way. And Cedar Rapids Xavier, not your typical 8 seed, is going to upset number 1 seeded Bishop Heelan.
They're the true bracket buster here in the tournament.
71-57 is your final. The 8 seed defeats the 1 seed here in the first round of the Class 4A quarterfinals. And the Saints are marching on to the semifinals here in Class 4A. What a win, what a battle. Fandel's going to finish with 37 points and 25 rebounds. Couldn't ask for anything better for Coach Tom Lilly and his crew.
No, and that's really a performance for the ages. It really is. The way she played today, and the way that she went to the glass and scored and kind of took the team on her shoulders, and then waited for the rest of them to step in and help out. And they just had it was a total team effort for Xavier here today.
Bishop Heelan will end their season at 21-3. Xavier is 20-4 and is headed to the Class 4A semifinals. Coach Koolstra and Coach Lilly having a good moment, chatting with each other here on center court.
2 legends of the game. Yeah, and 2 They just have been here a ton.
Send it to our PA announcer.
Sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are basketball administrator Gary Ross and executive director Aaron Gerlich. Congratulations, head coach Darren Kulstra and the Crusaders from Bishop Heelan on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Libby Fandel advance your team to the next round in the official bracket at center court. Congratulations, Saints. Your team advances to the 4A semifinals and will play Thursday at 5 o'clock. We'll see you there. Fans, on behalf of the...
Well, what a monster day for Libby Fandel. 37 points, 25 rebounds. Both break the single game records by a single player in Class 4A. Final thoughts on this one, Laura, in just a resounding victory by the Saints.
Yeah, an impressive performance by Xavier, but a good fight put up by Bishop Heelan. They had a great start, then all of a sudden Xavier came on strong and did not let loose of the reins and kept running.
That'll do it for us. Cedar Rapids Xavier defeats Bishop Heelan, the 8th seed over the 1 seed. 71-57 is your final score. For our producer, Aaron, she's Laura Leonard. I'm Blake Walker saying so long. Till your next Class 4A quarterfinal in just a little bit between Norwalk and Central DeWitt. You've been watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.